Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for attending Unleash the Color of Transfers. My name is Ryan Rafalke. I've been with Stahls Transfer Express for going on about 4 years now this coming summer. Current role is with new account development, so I handle all the new accounts that are coming in. Today, we are going to be teaching you about creating t-shirt designs that sell. And probably one of the coolest things is you do not have to be a designer like myself. I mean, I'm not a designer by no stretch of the imagination. I am very well versed with our program we're going to teach you called EasyView Online Designer. But the best thing is we do have a very, very awesome designer with us today from Great Dane Graphics. His name is Dane Clement, and I'm going to have Dane introduce himself real quick, and then we'll kind of go over to my spiel, and then we'll have Dane do the rest of his.
All right, awesome. Hey, so hopefully I have a bunch of you guys that are in this class from my last one, and I'm looking forward. This is going to be a fun one. So what I'm going to do after Ryan does his piece of it, I'm going to jump in and we're going to create a design completely inside of EasyView, which is different from my last hour class. So lots of new stuff to see. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the man, and I'll jump in later on.
All right. Thanks so much, Dane. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to get started here, folks. So apologize. You're just going to get the right-hand side of my face today because I've got the setup this way. All right. So just a moment here. We share this screen.
Hey, Ryan, while you're sharing your screen, there is one quick question for Dane.
Sure.
And it left. Where'd it go? When you shared your screen, everything. Hold on.
Oh, did it disappear?
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, throughout the presentation, please type in your questions. We will get to them. If there's any issues though with your questions, you can email us at info@transferexpress.com, and we'll definitely get back with you later on those questions. All right. So again, getting into our real quick, the designer. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to transferexpress.com. And once you're here, you're going to go to the upper right where it says login or register. You're going to click on that, and it will allow you to register for a new account, and it's entirely free. Or you can automatically type in your current dealer identification number or your email address, and then your password. So mine's already preset for our dealer services team. I'm going to go ahead and log in. Once you log in, you'll notice at the very top it says Design Center. And this is where I'm going to go for the EasyView Designer to start designing. Once I click on Design Center, it's going to automatically populate. It's going to say Get Started, and it gives me the option of going instantly to our EasyPrints layouts or our EasyPrints clip art. I can add my artwork here. I can resume a last session, or I can open up a job. And you'll see down here at the bottom, it says Recently Used. It shows all of the recently used clip arts as well as templates that I've already kind of played around with for the presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with our EasyPrints layouts here. The nice thing you'll notice here is once you go to the layouts, you're going to go ahead and see here, you've got several options. You've got dealer only, you've got basic templates. These are all layouts. You've got school. You scroll down, you've got tons of sports. You've got special occasions. You've got work events. Pretty much anything you can imagine is in here. We literally have over 7,000 customizable templates for every possible sport and event there is. We also have over 12,000 clip arts that you can use for your designs, and you can use our layouts and add your own stuff and kind of spritz it around and make it your own. So it's a really cool design software, yours entirely for free. There's no obligation to purchase anything to maintain access. So it's a great, great program. So for the simple sake of just kind of showing you something simple, and again, I'm not a designer. I don't have a graphic design background at all. I'm going to just assume that I have a customer that calls me and says that he's looking for a simple baseball team design. And he's got a coach, for example, that wants to print, let's say 50 t-shirts for a youth league. And this customer wants to go ahead and make sure he has some shirt tags. So the labels on the back or on the inside, there's going to be a long sleeve cotton shirt in this example. So he wants a nice long sleeve print. And he also wants to have a couple prints for a left chest piece for some coaches. So on a polo, so full front, left chest, shirt tag, sleeve, all 4 of those. And his ideal situation is to make it most cost effective as possible and to have us gang those images. So that's going to be the purpose of what I'm showing you now. So what's nice is we do sell what's called the Transfer Express Easy Prints Marketing Kit. It's only $49 plus $12 to ship. With that kit, if you go to transferexpress.com and you go to marketing tools, the Easy Prints marketing kit's in there. You can order it online today, but it'll come with a customized idea book with tons and tons of templates for all these occasions and events. So especially now that things are opening up, I can take this book with me. I can show all the coaches at the baseball team. They can flip through the pages and see, or I can show them an online version. So again, if I just go to easyprints.com, I've got an online version with tons and tons of pages here I can flip through. So I can flip through, I can go right to the table of contents. I can find baseball here. It's on page 37. As I'm flipping through, I can see that we offer numbers, we have names. It shows us the different color options, font types, everything's in this book. So as my client's flipping through it, oh yeah, cool. We also have lots of patterns too. We can kind of get into that in a little bit. So the client basically decides what template they want from this book or online. They can show me. So in my example, my customer is choosing just a simple baseball design, and he reads me out the number. So he's going to tell me he wants to go with style QBA-268. That's right in the book. So it automatically pulls up the design here. Now, if I wasn't sure which one I could go to, I could go right down to, to the sports, and I could go right into baseball, and I could find tons and tons of templates. But I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the one that my coach wanted, and it automatically sizes it for me. But the coach might be specific with what size he wants, and I'll get to that later. So real simple. All you do is you just click on the different elements within the design and you change things around. It's that simple. So for this example, the coach is going with the team for Cleveland Heights. So I can highlight this, that section where it says Cleveland or Compton Heights. I can come over here to the left-hand side where it says edit text, and I can click on there and backspace and spell out Cleveland Heights, or I can just double click on the text and it pulls up the edit text button there. So I'm just going to do that for it because it's a little bit faster. So type in Cleveland Heights for this particular team. And they are the Tigers. So he wants to get rid of the word Eagles and then obviously the Eagle mascot. So I'm going to click on Eagles, and I can choose tons and tons of fonts here. I'll show you in a minute. So I type in Tigers. And if you notice here on the left-hand side, you'll see the font types. If I do a drop down, it pulls up all the different font types I can go through. The best thing about this is it shows me what the font looks like as I'm scrolling through, so I can really spend time and figure out which one I want. For the sake of making this fast, because we're going to get to Dane here and see an expert, I'm just going to go with the font that's there because I like it. It's pretty cool. Now, again, we're going to get rid of this eagle, and we're going to put a tiger here for them because they are the Tigers. What I like to do is I like to move that particular element a little bit over to my right. So I'm, while I'm designing this here, and I can go into my clip arts where I go upper left, it says add clip art. And I can just type in the word tiger, or I can go to animals and go to cats and kind of figure out where the tigers are there. But just type in the word tiger and it pulls up all my different tiger options. So as you see here at the bottom, it says load more, the blue bar. You click on that, it keeps loading more. So I'm going to click on this guy here, the X2C-157. Now, mind you, in the idea book and the one online too, these templates and these clip arts are inside there, so they can look at the paper version or the online version too. So again, click on the tiger. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come over to my eagle, and I like to kind of make sure that my tiger is about the same size. I can make them a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller with the little corner there. But he's pretty good right there. So I'm going to come back down over to here. And I'm going to put my tiger where the eagle was. And I'm going to go ahead and delete the eagle. So again, I have just regular Cleveland Heights baseball for the Tigers. Coach likes this design. He's pretty, he just wants to be as inexpensive as possible in just a one color. So I'm going to highlight everything here. What's nice too is you can come up to this object bar and you have the option of actually grouping or ungrouping. So I'm going to group here. That way I can kind of move things around. And this coach tells me that he wants this design to be a specific size. He says, most of these are going on youth shirts. He wants them to be, let's say he throws out a number. He says they've got to be 9.65 by 8.4. Okay, so that's the exact size he wants. Let's give him what he wants. So I'm coming over here on the left where it says edit, that's got the width and the height. I'm going to unlock my aspect ratio, that little check button there. I'm going to put in the exact width that he wants, which is 9.65, and he wants the exact height of 8.4. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and relock my aspect ratio so it doesn't move around, and I can move the font or the image around. He wants this to be in gold. So I'm going to come over here to the left on the color scheme. I'm going to hit the color button and I'm going to choose my gold. And we have 86 stock colors to choose from. So there's tons and tons. All right. And he says, is there any way we can gang this image on one sheet with the sleeve? And he wants to do the, the shirt labels as well. So I said, absolutely, we can certainly do that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here I'm going to add a sleeve layout. We go here to the upper left where it says add layout. And I am going to come to, he gives me the number again, or I can go to dealer only. I can look at shirt tags, basic. Basic has the legs and sleeves. Tons and tons and tons of options here. I can keep scrolling down and choosing, if you've got some time, you can really spend a lot of time to choose. But in this case, he says to me, I just want a real simple one. He gives me the number. He wrote this down from the book. So he says this number is QLG-50. So real quick, okay, I pull this one up. I'm just going to move them over here a little bit so I've got a little bit of space to work with. Obviously, I'm going to change things around. Just click on the font, come over here and type in the word Tigers. And I'm going to shrink this down a little bit because he says to me that he would like for us to basically have the tiger in the design as well. So I'm going to pull that guy up and he says to me, could you fit the tiger in? No problem. We'll do that for you. I'll make sure I make the color gold. What I can do is I can come over here to this image and I can go back to the object and I can ungroup it. Once I do that, my tiger can be moved around. So you see how I clicked on the tiger, it puts that green box around. Right, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to hit the Control D button to duplicate, or I can come up here to Object and I can select Duplicate. But I like the Control D button, and I'm just going to pull this up, shrink it down a little bit, put them inside there. It looks pretty good. And what I can do is I can highlight all of this. I can group it together, and now I can flip it to where I can move it over here and I can make sure it's going to fit on my sheet. So I can anything I can fit on the sheet, I can print, which is the awesome thing about all of our transfer types. So I've got 11.5, 14 to work with here with the Plastisol ink. All right. He says to me also, I want to go ahead and get some left chest. So I can kind of highlight this guy, Control D him, and I can shrink him down a little bit. Put them on the page, Control D to duplicate. I can get a couple left chests, etc. So end of the day, I get all this stuff done. He also wants to do the option with the shirt labels. So I'm going to show you what I did for the screen print here for the gang sheeting, because I know we're running out of time for my end of this. So if I come over to here, this is what my end result looks like. So I've got over here, I was able to put 4 different shirt tags. I changed it to Tigers baseball. I have the American flag in there, and all these are on our layouts. If I go to add layout and I go to dealer only, it's under the shirt tag. So it was this guy here, QTG-9. You can click on that and I can change out all those different options here. So I was able to fit 4 of those guys there. I was able to fit 2 of the left chest, 1 of the full fronts. And since it's going on a long sleeve, I'm able to do 1 long sleeve, or maybe I could put that on a pair of sweatpants. So all in all, I was able to get 8 different images on 1 sheet. And if we look over here on my right, I selected my print method as screen print. Transfer type, I'm going to go with our old favorite goof proof, because this is going on 50-50 cotton poly blend. So there's my fabric type. Cut apart means if you want us to cut, we'll cut them for 20 cents each. Otherwise, you can save yourself the money. Or maybe I think it actually went down this year to 10 cents. So don't quote me on that, but it's in the price guide. Number of colors, I'm just doing 1 color gold, and I'm going to do 50 sheets. So all in all, this is only $113.50 to decorate 50 t-shirts. Technically, I'm getting 100 polos because I got 2 up on there, right? So I can do 100 polos, 50 t-shirts with long sleeves. And I can go ahead and throw in my own custom Tigers baseball label on the inside, get the tearaway tag, really customize that. So not a bad deal if you really think about it, because if you think it's only $2.27 a sheet, you divide that by how many images? 8. I'm getting these for 28 cents an image. Pretty darn cheap when you think about the profit I'm about to make out of $113.50. So again, there's so much you can do with this program. But the cool thing is now I can also take this same exact design and I can, once it's done, so here it is right now with the up close, I can go also to Apparel Share and I can show my client what it's going to look like by selecting a model. So we've got that option. You know, there's a lot the software does. I can choose the color of the shirt, etc. And I can kind of zoom in and I can have my own watermark. I can download this. I can email it. There's a lot of things I can do. Not getting too carried away, but what I did is I took this design and then I changed it into a full color design, which is right here, this guy here. So what I did is I just took the baseball and I flipped it around to our full color option. So I went into, I'm gonna ungroup him here to kind of show you. So see how the baseball kind of moves around? All I did is I went into my clip arts here and I went to, I just literally typed in the word baseball and it pulled up all of our baseball options. I loaded some more and I found this guy hiding out here towards the bottom here. Let's see where he was at here. I know we're coming close for time. There he is right there, this guy here. So I pulled this guy up and I was able to get that really cool looking baseball. And again, I can just zoom him in. I go to the order and I do the, because normally it's on top, but you just choose the order to the back. So he kind of hides in the back. I found this really cool looking tiger, again, in the clip arts. This is one of my favorite tigers. So thank you, Great Dane, for this awesome tiger. I can shrink him down, put him in there. End of the story, though, once I got all this stuff done, I put a little border around the Cleveland Heights to make it look a little bit cool. I was able to go ahead and do one big gang sheet here. What I was able to do for this client, and I know we're coming up for Dane coming in right now, but I was able to put basically 15 different images on one sheet. You see how many labels I got here? I got 7 labels. I got 2 left chests. I got 1 full front. I got 1 long sleeve. I got, 2 extra tigers. And then I found these really cool baseballs that Dane has for us because he added all this clip art. Look at the detail of that American flag. I just went to clip arts and I typed in USA just to see what was kind of patriotic. And there's all this USA stuff that pulled up here. American flags, baseball was on there. So I found this guy in there, tons and tons of clip art. But the cool thing was, and also if you make a mistake, go to this little left arrow here, you can back out and it puts it back to where it was. So end of the day, oh, and I forgot about this too, and then we'll let Dane come in here. If you zoom in, you can see I put the American flag in there. I found that in the USA size as well. I was able to kind of shrink that down and put that in for the full color. That's the beauty of UltraColor, is now I can get this really cool detail, add that full color option, and now I can give my customer, the option. They can go with a more economical, just 1 color, or they can go full color with full 3D effects. And then, I'm almost done here. On the right, you can see the print method. I chose full color. I chose UltraColor soft, 50/50 cotton blend, or whatever I want to do, sheet size. And I went ahead and I'm going to just do 50 just to say what the price is here. So mind you, these are more expensive. They're $5.30 a sheet. So my order is $265 as opposed to the $113.50. But if we look at what I'm getting 15 different designs, and I can charge more for this sort of a product. And it's not thick, it's not heavy, it's not like vinyl. It's not like a printable vinyl that could be a little bit thicker, so a little bit softer feel, a little bit more, a little bit of an air to it. Nice buttery feel. At the end of the day, I was able to get these down to 35 cents an image. If I take $5.30 a sheet, divide that by 15. So not a bad investment for 35 cents per image, and all I can do. And I can also take these and I can put these on can coolers, lunch bags, whatever it is I might be, sleeves, etc. Got lots of options that I can do with my gang sheets. So that's about it for me. And I'm going to turn it over to Dane now so we can see his awesome full color designs.
Hey, Ryan, one question real quick.
Sure.
Carlos would like to know, is this white labeled? What will prevent my client from knowing where to get the transfers and knowing the price?
Well, everything we do, as far as like if you're going to send it to your customer for their approval, when you go to like Apparel Share, for example, you can put your own watermark on it. When it sends it to the customer, it doesn't have anything. It's all transparent about so Transfer Express is not mentioned at all. They don't know where it's coming from. If you were to share with them easyprints.com for them to flip through the book online, there's nothing about Transfer Express or Stahls in here either. I hope that answers your question, Carlos. I'm not quite sure if I fully understood. I'm going to stop the share button here so Dane can kind of get prepared. But definitely, we can definitely get back with you on any questions you have. Just email info@transferexpress.com if we don't fully answer them here.
Awesome. Hey, Ryan, that was great, man. That really
Thank you.
You walked them through a whole lot of the designer thing that I don't have to do. So way to go.
All right, man. Well, we want to see what the master can do. This guy's been doing design a lot longer than me.
Yeah,
so.
well, we'll see what happens. All right, let me share my screen here. Yeah. All right. Can everybody see that? Hopefully, right?
Yes, looks good.
All right, sounds good. So this is a design that we created with all the elements right here in the designer. So what I'm going to do is basically just show you how we created it, right? So first thing I'll do, just going to click on it once here. See, we got all these different elements, right? And I want to make sure that these things get grouped together, because I'm just going to drag select it all and go to the object menu and I'll come down to group, and I'm just going to make it smaller, because what we're going to do is we'll do like this and put it up here in a corner, right? And we're just going to recreate it, and I'm going to show you all the steps of how that happened. So basically this, the Toucan, we're going to go ahead and hit add clip art first. All right. So just like Ryan showed you, you can search anything you want. If I put Toucan in here, it's going to come straight up. But if maybe you're not sure you want a Toucan, maybe you want some other tropical thing. So search tropical, right? See what happens. And you take a look. Get these over here, and there he is. That's the one I'm going to end up with, right? But you can see there's a lot more stuff. And anytime, like Ryan mentioned, you got a blue bar there. Click on it. It's going to keep loading until right now it's going to stop when you see the light blue bar there. So we want the Toucan in here. So we do that, brings it in. I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller, right? Just drag the corner and kind of shrink it down. So let's go ahead and add some type in here. Let's see what I'm going to do. Let's change the font. No, I think that's the right font right here. So let's change this. We're going to say, we'll do Coco's like this, just to show you that that's not how we did it. And I want to show you why. So I'm going to make it larger, right? And we do like that. So it looks pretty good. If I wanted to, yeah. All right. So if I want this guy bigger, right, in my image, and I see if all we did was we set the type, but I did set the C as one letter by itself and the Ocos as the other word, right? So this guy, I want to put him inside here to see how he looks. Maybe so in order to do that, we're going to come over here and change the order, and we'll bring it to the top. So now the Toucan is up in the front basically, and we can kind of see, you know, how we want it to work. And it's just not, personally, it's not big enough, right? The C isn't. So we'd have to make him a little bit smaller in order to see this bottom part, right? I want to use my idea, concept-wise, is to use the black of the Toucan itself, right, as part of the C. Obviously, you can see here, it kind of does like that. So we're going to, you know, come in here and sort of put it, but I just don't think it's big enough. So I'm going to move this guy out, and we'll come in here and take this out. Okay. And we'll put it right there. Let's go ahead and add another text block, and we're going to just do just the C. So the cool thing is you can control anything you want, however you want, right? So this designer, for being free, man, it's awesome. It's unbelievable. So it really is. So let's just go ahead and make it a little bit larger, right? Kind of position that. We'll take this guy and put him over here. And again, I want to change my order because I want him at the top. And knowing this, I can go ahead and make him a little bigger still, right? I think that looks cool. Doesn't have to match my exactly, because we just winged it. I mean, I just kind of put it together, right? So now let's go ahead and find some trees, right? So we're going to go to add clip art. And I'm trying to remember, I think we just found like a nature clip art here. We went to the beach, and should be in here maybe. Let's take a look. So yep, there he is. All right, so click on this and it comes in. Well, notice we have two, so we have to duplicate it. So I'm going to make this guy a little larger, all right? And if we go to the object menu over here, we can mirror it over and get it the other direction. Now, if I just go ahead and grab this, I can rotate it, right? And if you notice, like, we kind of put it in here. Let's just come out of the C this time. Why not? Make it larger. Get him. I want to get this piece off of his beak and just sort of spring him up from the word, basically. That looks pretty cool, right? So if I click on that and I go to the object menu again, I can come down to duplicate. Right now I have two of them. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of kick it up this way, go back to the group menu here, and let's mirror it over. Whoops, no, I don't want to mirror it over. Do I? Yeah, I do. I want to rotate it though. I don't make it smaller. So literally just move things around. And the cool thing is these trees, right? These are elements that are vector clip art pieces, whereas this Toucan is a raster image. So if you were in my earlier class, we can't really just click on this guy and change colors or move bits and pieces, but we can with the vector part of it, right? So if I wanted to add some color into this word basically here, let's go ahead and, what am I going to do here? I'm going to come into my effects. Is that where it was? I'm looking for my type effects. There we go. Sorry, there's so much stuff this thing does, and I'm not really familiar with it. I use a little bit, not a lot, but there we go. I'm just going to go with this guy here, click on it, and you can see it. Now, on the right-hand side is where we actually go in to make an effect on that stuff, right? So my face of the colors of my word is black, so that's cool. But you can see I got a white outline and then a gray outline. So I'm going to change that white outline here and just go to yellow, right? And we'll change the gray and we'll go to the cyan, okay? And at this little width here, if I hit this minus sign, it makes my outlines a little thinner. I'm going to go somewhere around there. I think looks good. So when I click over the Toucan again, he's on top, right? So he gets selected. So I'm just going to change the order for a minute, and I'm just going to send it to the back. And then we'll click on this guy here, and we'll do the same thing. We'll look for the same outline deal, separated outline, okay? And we'll fix the colors right. So I'm going to go yellow here, click on that one, and we'll go cyan there. I do want to make it a little bit smaller just to get it a little bit closer. Now, if you notice, it's not exact because the C is bigger than the rest of the letters. But I think it's good enough. You won't even notice it once it's all complete. Anyway, so let's take this guy here. We're just going to go ahead and move it. Whoops. Trying to move the C over a little bit. Something like that will work. We're not overlapping. I just want them to touch, right? So this guy, select him, go to the object menu, and the order menu, we bring him back to the top. So that works. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to grab this one tree here and bring it up, right? So kind of get it on its own, in its own space. And I'm going to go to the object menu here and we'll ungroup that like Ryan showed you earlier, right? So if I click on this, I can change that color. Hit this done over here. I can change the color of this piece by going here. Whoops, no. Let's see. Where's my colors?
Just got to hide the effects on the left. Little drop down. There you go. Yeah, there's your color.
They always hide on me. There's so many things going on. So there we go, right?
No, there's a lot this program does, man.
It is really powerful. And if you work on it a few times, I've only created a handful of things in it, but it's awesome. It's super, super great. So I'm going to select this part of it now. Now I'm going to ungroup all those little bits and pieces, right? So if I click on this guy here, and if I hold my shift key, right, and if you look at my image, the palm tree, there's a whole bunch of fun colors in there. So I don't know, doesn't really matter what goes what color. If you notice, I'm kind of skipping a few, and then I'm holding my shift key and just kind of shift clicking to grab extra bits and pieces. So we'll come over here, hit this color again, and maybe we'll make those red, right? So over here again, I'm gonna click on, whoops, yeah. All right, click on this one, and then we'll again shift click here, and we'll go and literally just randomly grab a bunch, and maybe that one. We click on the color, and let's make those purple. Why not? And then we'll grab this one, and that one, and this one. See what I mean? Takes a minute to do just because we're getting a little bit. I got a little crazy with the color, but hey, this is UltraColor. We can print as many as we want, so why limit yourself, right? Let's make that one celery. And this one, and we got 2 or 3, that's it, left here, maybe. There you go. All right, click on that, and let's make that one cyan.
Hey, Dane, we have a question.
Shoot.
How to add breathability to a full back, full color logo provided by a customer. Use shirt to show through, like for black.
So I don't think, Ryan might have a better answer for this. I don't think it's that. I think it's a different color. It's a no ink, maybe, Ryan? Is that it?
Are they talking about, I'm sorry if I'm not really understanding the question. Is it like a full entire decal that they want us to open up for them? Or, basically if it's like a full decal, there's not going to be a lot of breathability. I mean, the UltraColor though it's a hybrid. It's screen print base with a digital print on top. End of the day though, if they send us artwork that we can open up, we can have the fabric show through. We've got options for that. So like what Dane's doing here, hypothetically, if they wanted us to,
right.
Dane just did the whole tree with all the different colors. If we wanted the garment to show through, he could have selected no color.
Which I did here.
Right, exactly. So then we can have the garment open up and breathe through better. So there are ways around it, but if it's the decal, that's an entire, like a picture of a magazine or something, that's going to be just one full print. I don't know if that answers the question or not, but email us at info@transferexpress.com if you want to get more specific, then we'll definitely answer it for you.
There you go. All right, so back to the tree, right? So I got rid of the other one because we don't want to have to recolor. We can just use this one and duplicate it over. But I did drag select everything, and we want to go ahead and group it because it's in a million pieces, right? So click on it again. We'll go ahead and duplicate this guy and then bring him back down. So I'm gonna bring this one here and just have him sort of, if you notice, I'm gonna go to my order and we'll send it to the back because I want the words on top, right? And we'll click this guy here. We'll mirror him. Make him a little smaller, maybe a little bit larger than that. We'll come over here and then just rotate him as well. Just like that. That's pretty coolio. All right. So what we can do now is I can grab it all and I can shrink it a little bit because we want to add that stuff at the bottom, right? The type in these blocks. So let me just blow that up so you can kind of get an idea or feel for what that is. Now it takes a little work, but look how cool it is, right? So we're going to go get some clip art bits and pieces for the little squares, and we're going to colorize and put them together, and then we're going to set the type. right there as well. And we'll just put them right up underneath here. So let's do it. Go to add clip art again. And in this one, we're looking for some shapes, right? And let's go find some, look at all this stuff, man. Crazy, crazy. Go to squares. There they are. Click on those and it brings in these little guys, okay? So I'm gonna ungroup them because I like to do lots of that if you haven't noticed. I'm gonna click on them. I'm gonna ungroup it again. Maybe I didn't totally click it. There we go. All right, so gonna zoom in a little bit. Got to come get my hand. That's the one thing you will notice when you're working online. Keyboard shortcuts don't always work. So I find myself doing that every now and again. So let's do this. We'll take this guy here and change its color. Let's go to, I don't know, purple, right? And maybe we'll change this one, go to blue or celery or cyan. We'll make this guy celery, why not? And this one could be red. And this one, Tennessee orange, because it's a good bright color. Now, zooming back out here, just so you can see, if you look here, this is what we went bring in, right? A row of squares. Maybe that works for you, maybe it doesn't. And it didn't work for me. So we're gonna dance these things around, right? We're just gonna rotate them and make them all fun and floppy and kind of interesting. And that's the only reason we do it for. We just want to make sure that it gets just a little more interest to it, right? So I'm going to make them a little bit bigger here. Click on this guy. We'll rotate it up this way and take this one and do like, you know, maybe like that. We'll take this one and go this way. See what I'm saying? And we'll just kind of do like this. Bring them over. And as long as they're dancing up and down or in different directions like that, it makes it a little bit more interesting. Okay. So let's go here. And this guy, we'll move him in there, tuck him in. And that looks pretty cool. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to grab this one because I know we're going to need him in a minute. And I'm going to go to the object menu and I'm going to duplicate it. Okay. And I'm just going to bring it down here. We're going to use him in a minute because you see this part of the C? I didn't like that because I'm using the C or the black in the Toucan here to fulfill or finish out my visually finish out my C, right? So we're going to hide this part and we're going to use that little chunk for it. So drag select all this guy. Let's go ahead and group them together. And now let's duplicate it, right? And when it finishes, we'll move it over this way and there you go. So now we got a bunch of fun little squares and we'll just put them up in here. And I'm gonna take this guy, we'll do that last. We'll move it there. So let's go ahead and add some more type though. Let's add, let's change the font. It's gonna be Bambi. Why not? So let's see, that one is gonna be beach, bar, whoops. Like upper and lower case when we have commercial establishments. Beach bar and grill. Okay, hit done. There we go. Now, if I mouse over that, just to kind of get an idea for size, that looks pretty cool, right? So let's do it this way now. So I'm going to go ahead and let's duplicate it because we're going to make this font a little bit more involved. And let me show you what I'm talking about. So if I zoom in a little bit, you can see it's not just the outlines that we did here, right? We have an outline color, a face color, and a different color shadow all together. And it's just easier or easy enough to do.
All right, now that we have the typeset, let's go ahead and just go ahead and duplicate it. So we're going to go to object menu, duplicate. We're going to have, basically, we're going to have two layers of type here. We're going to have one that's just a cyan color that we're going to utilize as a drop shadow. And the other one's going to have the colors like you see here in the Coco's word. Let's just go ahead and move it down. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go to the top one. I mean, the first one here is going to be the bottom layer, basically. And we'll make adjustments to this one and put it on top. So I'm going to grab my move tool, click on it. Okay, so let's go ahead and change that color. We're going to come over here to my effects and click on my face color here. And let's make it cyan. And let's go ahead and add a stroke to it. Now, there is no just add stroke color like they would be in CorelDRAW or Illustrator, I mean a tool. So let's go ahead and hit effects, and let's this touching outline, I think we can make it work. So we select that, and you can see we have a cyan face and then a gray outline. So let's go ahead and click on the gray color over here, make it cyan, and we'll make it a little bit smaller. We don't need it super mega thick. Okay, I don't know why it zooms out, but we're going to hit done because that one is done. There we go. All right, zoom back in a little bit more. So we'll grab this, the one here, the linotype at the bottom. Now let's go ahead and hit the effects on this one, and we'll put the outline, the separated outline here. And instead of white, we'll click on the white here, and we'll make it the yellow. And we'll click on the gray and make it cyan. I'm going to hit the width down a little bit. We don't need super thick outlines, just kind of have the cool colors. There we go. Now let's just go ahead and bring this one above the first line there, like this. Try to zoom in again. All right, now with the arrow tool on your keyboard, or you can just click it with your mouse and drag it, we can kind of nudge it up and over. And that way it'll leave the cyan blue at the bottom, kind of show it a solid drop shadow, which is kind of the look that I was looking for here. Yep, that looks cool. We can click off of it and zoom back out. All right, now I just noticed that this tree, I don't know why I didn't notice it before, is sitting on top of everything. So we can click on him and we can go to order, and let's try to send it to the back, because we definitely want it behind the letters. There we go. All right, so now you can see how we built the whole thing, bits and pieces, and EasyView is a pretty cool designer. Thank you for coming to the class. I hope you learned something new today and can create some really cool new designs. Thanks again.